The 1961 Hambletonian from DuQuoin was won by a trotter by the name of Harlan Dean. And like the 1960 Hambletonian, when Jimmy Arthur drove Hootfrost, Harlan Dean is another entry from the powerful Del Miller stable of the early 60s.
Well, Harlan Dean was owned by Max Hempelway Cleveland and I had a mare that Hugh Grant and I in the raised meadow far, one of the great fillies of all time, a great bred mare. And I really made, I think, take credit for it anyhow, made Harlan Dean the week before.
Now, how in the world can a driver-trainer make a horse the week before a major stake?
He'd been making breaks and hadn't been right, and I changed his shoes and worked him 6 heats, and 3 of them, all he could go, and I hung him on the fence, and that made him.
Just wore him out to the point that he couldn't make a break.
I made him trot and made a trot out of him that day, and Jimmy said he never had him so good as he did winning the Hambletonian. And he wanted to record time for the Hambletonian.
Point of question, those 6 training miles up at Vernon, did he make breaks in the early miles of the day?
A couple of them he did, and I even shot him between heats, and then we went on and we got him straightened out.
There's an awful lot that goes into winning a horse race. It all started and really got underway the week before at Vernon, New York. But on this day in the hot temperatures of Illinois, Harlan Dean and Jimmy Arthur come home in front, a world record at that time, mile in 1:58.2, to beat the crowd favorite, Caleb. Here's another great moment in harness racing.
There may be richer trotting races in the world, but there are none to match the tradition and color of the famed Hambletonian, run this year for the 36th time. It's the best 2 out of 3 heats, and the horse to watch in both heats is Harlan Dean, a horse who didn't run this year until July because of stiffness. He's number 3, and he's trotting a thrilling first heat. When they come down to the home stretch, the crowd senses that he's run a fast race. With Jimmy Arthur in the sulky, he's on his way to a new world's record at the DuQuoin, Illinois meet. When the time goes up, it is a world's record. There are more thrills on tap in the second heat. Driver Arthur has a problem right at the start when Metastar goes into a gallop, and it takes all his skill to keep Harlan Dean out of trouble before the field straightens out. This heat changes hands several times, and in the stretch, Harlan Dean has to trot wide in the final 8th in order to overtake Caleb, the crowd favorite, in this non-betting race. This is the kind of trotting that's always a feature of the Hambletonian. When he catches Caleb, Harlan Dean has no trouble romping to the wire 2.5 lengths in front. The combined clocking for the 2 heats is 3 minutes, 57 2/10 seconds, another record for Harlan Dean, and he romps home with $77,000.